This video, we're going to go through how to use your equity, but a little bit different to probably what you've seen with other videos on YouTube explaining how to use your equity to purchase an investment property. And I want to give you a different lens to view how leveraging your equity into different asset classes can potentially give you a different result, maybe even a better result, depending on what your actual objective is. So first off is what is equity? So equity is essentially the difference between the current debt or the mortgage that's left on your property, and then in terms of what is the fair market value of your current investment property or principal place of residence. Hypothetically, your property's worth mortgage is now $500,000, and the market value of that is $800,000. So now that leaves an amount of money there that you can then retract or pull out, and then use that now as a deposit to be able to purchase a subsequent property. It's interesting to note though, if you've never used this methodology before, there's probably two things that I need to bring to your attention, which is really important to understand. First and foremost is that when you draw that equity out, there is a interest rate that's added to that, because essentially it's a loan. So it's an equity loan, and there'll be an interest rate attached to that. And so obviously when you're doing your calculations in regards to your income that you'd be generating from properties, you need to take that cost into your acquisition, because it's not the same as just cash. Okay, so it's important that you understand that. Next piece of the puzzle then, with what is important to understand, is how that valuation can occur. So when you're working with a bank will outsource that to a valuer. And so within Australia, there's like 30, 40, 50 sort of valuation companies. And within those companies, it is individuals, people like you and I, that it's their job to go out and assess those properties, to be able to formulate an opinion and then provide a valuation on the data and the research of how they interpret it. Now, as we're all aware, everybody has difference of opinions, okay? And so how they interpret that and then what they present can determine the difference of the valuation that you receive on your property. And sometimes that can be a difference of 20, 30, 40, 50, even $100,000 that I've seen over the years in those difference of opinions of how they're looking at the current data and the other factors that they're taking into consideration there. So if your objective is to draw out your equity and you want to get the biggest amount of lending possible from your equity loan, then sometimes it is worth paying a higher interest rate to be able to access a larger deposit to be able to purchase potentially a better performing asset. So always take those things into consideration. Okay, so now back to the main part of this video, which I want to discuss with you, is we can start to use our equity now to purchase different types of properties. So we've got residential properties, we've got townhouses, we've got commercial properties, we've got NDIS, we've got rooming houses, we've got duplexes. All of these properties have different loan to value ratios. So meaning, what is the minimum amount of deposit that you can use to acquire one of these properties? Now, it's really important to understand this, because this will also influence then your acquisition that you would like to purchase, because now you need to understand here is, if I'm purchasing a standard residential property, then you can possibly still get away with a 95% LVR. about our objective, how is this going to assist us in the timeline that we're working towards to achieve that objective? Now, for the example here that I used before with the commercial property at $1 million for that particular scenario, obviously there, because we've got a larger sum of available equity there to use and to implement, what that means is now we're putting ourselves into a different asset category where we're able to generate essentially a larger sum of cash flow, and then also probably a larger sum of capital growth as well, because of how that commercial kind of asset category works, but more on that in another video. So when we're thinking about leveraging our equity, it's understanding then those different types of assets that are available to us in regards to your loan to value ratio in terms of those purchases. Okay, then what you want to understand then is with the types of budgets that you've got available for those different asset categories, is what would be the return on your investment that you would be able to achieve in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years as an example. And then how does that particular return on your investment influence then or impact your actual net income target goal that you're trying to achieve? So if I was just to sum all of this up really quickly, is when we're using our equity, it's the difference between the mortgage that's currently being held and the fair market rate on your property, getting multiple valuations to be able to understand, to get the largest pool of sum of money. Then with that sum of money, then reflecting on what is the loan to value ratios of the different types of asset classes that are available to you. Then layering over that is what is the return on your investment on these particular types of asset categories. And then in relation to those, how does that then influence both positively and negatively in terms of your passive income target goal? I hope you like this. If you did, please subscribe, give us a like, put your comments down below so that I can continue to make more videos like this for you.